S-T-R-O. Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm out in my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright.
Yep.
I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I'm made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support, bruh. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winter side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Like that. It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Yeah. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Yeah. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the check calling. Let me click over real quick to let my check talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking, right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad, but I'm past that. With a NASDAQ, that's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's fast. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit, I'm glad. When the check missed the direct hit, I'm sad. Like who's that knocking at my window? My window. They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Ooh, why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Yeah. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Yeah. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
Yeah. Run up in this magic. One up and up this magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans.
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
This is it. 19.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
124.
Check, check.
Watson on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. First carry for Nick Chubb. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
They run again on first down. Chubb. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Check curls, check curls, check curls. Alert 3.
On second and inches, Watson. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Another timeout.
Throwing on third down, Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Lonnie Johnson picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Strong right. 4 down. Head to the court.
After the interception, here's Watson. Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Third and long. It's Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
McManus's point after is good, and that'll make the score 14-0. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
You're knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up and watch them take it the rest of the way to the opposite end zone. That's a 2-score swing that you just gave up.
And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, it's again to Cook. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. Forced out to his left. And that will be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
Hey, defense, let's go.
20.
Sit. Check.
20.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku, and that'll bring up second down.
Watch the twitch. Watch the twitch.
Throwing again. Newton. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They give the Chubb out of the gun, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
This shot downfield on 2nd down is brought in. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Check 41. I got one.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Gun.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's Newton. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. Jalen Hurd, the intended receiver. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. 1st down, here's the run with Cook. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Watson, and incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Texans on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
I can't believe they even let you play. Alert flare. Check 24.
From the gun, here's Watson. And this is Cook with a grab. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Browns drive about to get started. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. A give running right is Chubb. Finding room at the 30. He's got daylight. A big play that time out of Chubb. 55 yards. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 21. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A huge play there for Houston. 46 yards.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Now a first down throw. Watson. That'll be complete to Cook. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. To throw again on second down, Watson. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter. No, but and for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. So now 2 pick sixes that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
Well, number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head and walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. Here's Matt Weil now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. He'll field this at the 5. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Browns drive about to get started. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Newton. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He finds Beckham complete. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3.
We got this. First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Watson now to throw. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Cook following the penalty. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here. After first and second down went backwards, it's third and very long. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on fourth down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time to leave the booth.
On 2nd and 9, Newton, he's going to loft one, deep left, and got his man, complete. He's at the 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 89 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now McManus for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Makes the score Browns 45, Texans nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On the jet sweep, here comes Fuller. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Reset. 19. Tight right. We got 4.
On the ground, it's Cook. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game.
I'm going to break it.
I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Gun.
41's the mic. 41's the mic.
A run for Nick Chubb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Another try after the first down sack. Newton, he's got Njoku, his big tight end. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Justin Reed. Jalen Hurd, the intended receiver. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check. Lucky. Shoot. 22, Jet, cover. 22, Jet, cover.
Again, it's Cook. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. From the 50, it's Watson. Got him, man. That's Trent Sherfield. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Check 31.
On 1st down, it's Cook. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Defense wins championships, baby.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. The kick by Fairbairn is good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Fairbairn now, following the made field goal, he'll send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Ready? Look at it. Great. Hey! Hey, 4-1's Mike. 4-1.
They begin this drive with Chubb. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And they go jet sweep with a former running back, Hurd. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Steps away. He's going to look for Beckham in the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Check 52.
Now Chubb running right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And now off to the races down the right side. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point from McManus is good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
He's crashing.
They run it again with Cook. Now this will go for 5 up to the 33.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
The Texans on 3rd down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Oh, a design run for their wideout. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
Hey, watch the slant. Mike 34, Mike 34. Scoop, scoop, scoop.
On the jet sweep, here comes Fuller. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a 3rd and still about 12 to go.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
On 3rd down, it's Cook. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Matt Weil now. He's been terrific so far. call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you?
There he goes, right side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual
it.
guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cleveland, the win is a good one for morale, but little else as they move to 3-8, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Texans, it's